Lastminute.com for West Brom this past weekend as they remain in the top two. But is anybody going to stop the dark horse of the pack? That's Coventry City. We'll take a look at that and more next. First back, giving a prediction video today. We're looking forward to match day number 10 over in the Championship, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe button, get your bang up to date with all things Championship related, Blackburn Rovers related. Woo! Football related, we're going to know here, boys. Under Warruski, some big old results this past weekend, including the mighty Blackburn Rovers hitting 5, that's right, against bloody Cardiff. We'll take a look at that and more in just a second. Of course, a big shout out to my VR bloody P's. I'm talking about my Patreons. If you want to support the channel in another way, check out that link down below, patreon.com/Rovers. In fact, I've actually recorded my first video for the Dirk's Daily Diary, which will, of course, be made available to patrons first and foremost. Probably at the end of the week, hopefully. I haven't edited it yet, but of course, there'll be daily diaries. Hopefully we're recording something today. Not too sure how we're going to pan it out, but we'll see all about that. So make sure you check out the patreon.com/Rovers to see the behind the scenes life. But anyway, let's get going then. Of course, recap the games that did take place this past weekend. Bournemouth took on Luton Town and they won 2-1 win in the end. I went with the 2-0 win myself. Meanwhile, Birmingham and Preston ended up all square 0-0 in the end. I called it, boys. Called it. Went with the 1-1 draw myself. I also called a bit of a spinger, a bit of a zinger chicken dinner on this badger as Rovers hit 5. I did see 5 goals in it, but I thought it was going to be evenly spread. But Rovers hit 5 themselves. And of course, Cardiff just the one as we kept up our top 6. It's not going to last. It's not going to last. Next up, of course, it was a 1-0 win for Blackpool over Barnsley as they climbed the bloody table up to, where are they now? 14th in the table. Meanwhile, I went with a draw myself. Meanwhile, Bristol City against Fulham ended up all square. Another couple of drop points for Fulham as they go down to 4th. Coventry City did beat Peterborough 3-0 win in the end to remain in that top 6 and, of course, as high as 3rd. Could they be the season's Barnsley? Next, of course, Reading against Middlesbrough, 1-0 win. Even though there is going to be a points deduction, I believe, for Reading. It's not confirmed just yet. Or it's not on paper anyway. They did beat Middlesbrough, who could be making the decision this week to get rid of bloody Warnock. And also Cardiff may make the decision on Mick McCarthy if things don't turn around there. Anyway, kicking on forward, it is Forest, of course, new boy there, Cooper. Cooper boy got himself a draw against Millwall, 1-1 in the end. I went with the 1-0 win for Forest on this one. Meanwhile, Sheffield United did pick up a win against Derby, who did get their points deduction this weekend. Of course, they are now bottom of the pops. Meanwhile, Stoke City against Hull, 2-0 win for Stoke as they continue to press up to 5th, or remaining 5th for them these days. Clean sheet to boot. Meanwhile, Swansea did beat Huddersfield, of course, this week to climb the bloody table as well. And then finally, of course, lastminute.com, it was West Brom against QPR, 2-1 win in the end. Let me count up my points here. I actually did okay here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Dirk got 9 out of 12. That's right. Oh yes, filthy. Remember that number 9. I got 9. As for the table, this is what it looks like at the moment. As you see, Bournemouth looking good, unbeaten at the top of the table. West Brom are up there in 2nd. Coventry breathing down their necks though. West Brom have been playing with fire. They've been scraping them a little bit. They're going to be caught out in the end eventually, but I do still think they'll be in that top 4 comfortably in the end. As for Coventry, they're having a romantic honeymoon, Indian summer they would call that at the moment, flying high in 3rd. I don't think they'll be up there at the end. No disrespect, but they get the points now, and of course they'll be all right for this for the campaign next season. That's of course what you'll do. As for Rovers, of course, into 6th. Down the bottom there is Derby with the points deduction hole there. Forest as well, and then of course we're looking at Reading in 9th, but of course I think they'll lose 9 points, which of course will drag them down to 23rd, of course. But we'll see about that. So let's get it. Of course, I got 9. Remember that? I got 9. Oh, just shy, just behind Hypernova, who got 1 more than me, then 10. Conor Medlin up there with 9 as well. Max Sangardi, Damien Heaven, and of course, Joachim Jackson also got himself 9 as well. If you listen to me, you might get 9, of course, but if you listen to me also, you might get 0. That's, of course, this week and this week alone. Of course, this is the grand scheme of things. I believe it might be, I think it's cleaned up. We have 2-way tie, Creamy Jordan with 51. Of course, Max Sangardi also up there with 51. Conor Medlin, Winky as well with 50. Of course, so we have the next round of matches coming at you right here, right now. Of course, use the code CUTD4/Championship. So this round of matches right here are the last ones for September. So you've got to do well here. And of course, those matches will add on to the ones that we've already done in September. And then we will have the predictor of the month for September. Of course, a Willy Wonka style ticket, which we'll talk about next time, which of course will be midweek. And hopefully we'll have the answer for you then. Let's take a look at the next one. Of course, kicking off Tuesday, 6 games Tuesday, 6 games Wednesday. One of the Tuesday games will be Cardiff up against West Brom at the Cardiff City Stadium. Of course, played each other 14 times, 2003, 4 wins apiece and 6 draws. Big win for Cardiff was a 2-2 win. The biggest win in the away was a 2-1 win. 4-2 win, sorry. Cardiff coming to just 1 win in 6. Absolutely shit form. Meanwhile, West Brom, just 1 win in 4, if you want to look at it that way. Of course, just 1 win and 3 draws to boot. That's the measure. In Wales, was a 2-1 win for Cardiff. The away side hasn't won this game since Cardiff beat West Brom in the Hawthorns back in 2009. Of course, Cardiff did lose to Rovers last time around. Meanwhile, West Brom got a lastminute.com winner against QPR. Prior to that, they drew 3 on the bounce. Absolutely incredible, of course. Look at the odds on this one. 11-5 is your Cardiff, 13-10 is your West Brom. Of course, 11-5 is your draw. I think it's getting to that stage where it must be must-win for Mick McCarthy. But I don't think they'll win it. I think they'll get a draw, 0-0 in the end. Another manager in a bit of trouble is Neil Warnock. That's right, up against Sheffield United. Difficult game for them to play this weekend as well. 16 times they played each other since 1994, 6 wins apiece, and 4 draws. The biggest win for Middlesbrough, 3-0 win. The biggest win in the away was a 1-0 win. Middlesbrough just 1 win in 6 for them. Meanwhile, Sheffield Wednesday just 1 defeat past 6. They are starting to grind out some results and start climbing up the table, of course. Last time I played over at Riverside was a 3-0 win for Middlesbrough. That was back in August 2018 in the Championship. The away side hasn't won this game since 2011 when Middlesbrough beat Sheffield United over at Bramall Lane. Of course, Sheffield United did beat Derby 1-0 last round. Of course, Reading did beat Middlesbrough last round. Of course, 1-0. So last time that Middlesbrough won was a 2-0 win over Forest. Heading into this one, of course, the odds 7-4 is your Middlesbrough, 70-10 is your Sheffield United, and 21-10 is your draw. Your back's up against the wall, Warnock. I think you'll win this one to save your job because, you know, he did sign the contract for this season. What would happen? What would happen in that scenario if he was to get fired? Would it be a game over for Warnock, or will he want to go out on a high? I think they might still, hopefully. I don't want to see the end of Warnock. I like Warnock. He is a character. He's old school, traditional. We see it every week. He's got his bum bag, fanny pack, and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to see that go anywhere anytime soon. Next time they'll have a game of the week. It is Huddersfield. It is Rovers, and hopefully it's not guaranteed, but hopefully I'll have a watch along this Tuesday at the John Smith Kirksley Stadium. Played each other 20 times since 1999. 5 wins for Huddersfield, 7 for Rovers, 8 draws, of course. Huddersfield comes in just 1 win in 4. Great, that's good. That's what I want to see anyway. Meanwhile, Blackburn comes in unbeaten the last 5, picking up 2 wins and 3 draws to boot. Of course, the biggest win for Huddersfield, 2-0 win. The biggest win there was a 5-2 win. Of course, last time over at Kirklees was a 2-1 win for Huddersfield back in, I think I remember this game, 2-1 back in December 2020, 2-1 win for Huddersfield. The away side hasn't won this game since Huddersfield beat Rovers back in 2016 at Ewood Park. A 2-0 win, so not looking good form at the moment. Anyway, of course, heading into this one, Rovers did beat Cardiff 5-1. Meanwhile, Huddersfield did lose to Swansea 1-0. Odds on this one, we have 8-5 is Huddersfield, 9-5 is your Rovers, 11-5 is your draw. I've actually gone with the draw, so I'll take a point here all day long. 2-2, of course, because Huddersfield can be decent, even though I have predicted them to have a shitty season, but I'm going with the draw myself on this one. Take it. Next up, of course, Hull City up against Blackpool. Let's take a look at this one then. Of course, played each other 11 times 2004. Biggest win. They played each other 11 times 2004. 2 wins for Hull, 5 for Blackpool, and 4 draws. Biggest win for Hull, 2-0 win. The biggest win in the way, 3-2 win. Hull comes to 3 defeats on the bounce. Meanwhile, Blackpool 3 wins in the past 4 games as Neil Critchley's boys start to climb the table. Last time played each other at the K-Com was a 1 more draw in League One in January 2021. Hull did lose to Stoke last time around, 2-0 loss. Meanwhile, Blackpool picked up back-to-back wins over Middlesbrough and Barnsley to get themselves in pretty good form. Look at the odds on this one. We have 6-4 is your Hull, 21-10 is your draw, and 2-1 is your away win. That's Blackpool on this. Going to go with a Blackpool 3rd win on the bounce. They'll start to move the bloody chains, of course. Next up, of course, we have Preston. I think we're taking on, of course, Stoke City. This is over at Deepdale. Also on Tuesday, bloody night. Of course, these two sides play each other 19 times since 2002. 8 wins for Preston, 4 for Stoke, and 7 draws. Biggest win for Preston, 3-0 win. The biggest win in their way is a 3-1 win. Preston unbeaten the last 6. However, only won once in the past 5, picking up 4 draws at the past 5 games. As for Stoke, they come to just 1 win. Sorry, 1 defeat at the past 5 for them, picking up back-to-back wins as well. Last time at Deepdale was a 0-0 draw. In fact, the home side has only won once at the past 6 occasions between these two sides, and that was, of course, when Preston beat Stoke 3-1 back in 2019. Preston did draw with Birmingham last time around. Of course, Stoke did beat Hull 2-0 last time around. Look at the odds. Do I have odds on this one? I do have odds going in favour slightly of Stoke on the road, but I don't have the numbers for you. I can't figure that out. But anyway, I've gone with a draw on this one. No, I haven't. Scrapped that. I've gone with a 2-1 win for Preston. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Put a bit of a kink in the armour. That is, of course, Stoke. Next, of course, we have QPR up against Birmingham, taking place at Loftus Bloody Road. These two teams played each other 28 times since 1996. 8 wins for QPR, 10 for Birmingham, 10 draws. Biggest win for QPR, 4-1 win. The biggest win in the way was a 2-0 win. Of course, QPR coming to just 1 win in 5. Absolutely absolutely shitty form at the moment. Meanwhile, Birmingham without just 1 win in 6. Two sides that could do with a result and do result fast. Last time played at Loftus Road was a 0-0 draw. QPR haven't won this game since 2019 when they beat Birmingham at St Andrews, and it was a 2-0 win. In fact, it's been an interesting couple of matches between these two sides. There can be goals in this game, I'll tell you that. Look at the odds on this one. In fact, scrap that. Birmingham coming to the back of that draw against Preston. Of course, QPR did lose to West Brom last time round. Of course, QPR are 65 favourites for this one. 5-2 is your Birmingham. 11-5 is your draw. Going to go with a win for QPR on this one. 3-0 in the end to get themselves a big old boost. Next, of course, Derby Counties into Wednesday's games. They'll take on Reading at Pride Park. Played each other 40 times since 1994. 12 wins for Derby, 22 wins for Reading, and 6 draws. The biggest win for Derby. 3-0 win. The biggest win in their way was a 5-0 win. Derby just 1 win in the past 6. Meanwhile, 3 wins on the bats of Reading. Even though both of these two sides, if not already, facing a points deduction, of course, for their financial issues. Next, of course, the last time played each other at Pride Park was a 2-0 win for Reading. That was back in September 2020. Of course, Reading did beat Middlesbrough last round. Meanwhile, Derby did lose to Sheffield United. Of course, odds on this one: 6-4 is your Derby, 2-1 is your Reading, and 21-10 is your draw. Go with the 1-0 for Derby on this one. Again, get the 3 points and maybe do the unthinkable and start climbing the bloody table. Next, of course, Barnsley. They were taking on Nottingham Forest. Of course, they played each other over at Oakwell. Played each other 31 times since 1993. 13 wins for Barnsley, 11 wins for Forest, and 7 draws. Of course, new manager at the helm, Stevie Cooper, unbeaten so far. Picked up a draw. Meanwhile, Barnsley's Marcus Shop is in the dugout. Anyway, the biggest win for Barnsley over Forest, 2-0 win. The biggest win in their way, 3-0 win. Barnsley without a win in 6. Meanwhile, just 1 win in 6 for Forest. Of course, in fact, unbeaten in 2 now. Starting to get a run together for these sides. Of course, anyway, Barnsley last time around over at Oakwell was the 2-0 win for Barnsley. In fact, the away side hasn't won this game since Forest beat Barnsley back in 2016, 5-2. Of course, Forest coming to the back of that draw against Millwall. Meanwhile, Barnsley coming to the back of that loss against Blackpool. Odds on this one: we have 6-5 is your Barnsley, 5-2 is your Forest. Of course, 11-5 is your draw. A 1-1 draw for me on this one. Point split right in the middle. Of course, Cooper will remain unbeaten. Next, of course, Fulham up against Swansea. That's right, over down in Craven Cottage. These two sides have played each other 10 times in 2009. 4 wins for Fulham, 5 for Swansea, and 1 draw. Biggest win for either two sides was a 3-0 win. Of course, well, whenever looking at that, of course, coming into this Fulham, just 1 win in 5 for them as Marco Silva comes through a rough patch. As for Swansea, just 1 win in 6 for them. As Russell Martin also comes through a rough patch. Actually, just 1 defeat though over the past 5. Of course, a lot of draws knocking around. Last time played each other over at Craven Cottage was a 1-0 win. That was back in February 2020 in the Championship. Of course, Fulham comes to the back of that draw against Bristol City. Swansea comes to the back of that win over Huddersfield Town. Look at the odds: 9-4 on is your Fulham, 6-1 is your long shots at Swansea, 7-2 is your draw. 3-1 win for Fulham on this one to take it to the house. Millwall will entertain Bristol City this weekend down at the Den. These two sides have played each other, of course, 21 times since 1993. 7 wins for Millwall, 6 for Bristol City, and 8 draws. Biggest win for Millwall, 4-1 win. The biggest win in the way is a 3-0 win. Millwall coming to this just 1 defeat past 6. Meanwhile, 1 defeat past 6 for Bristol City. As both these two sides, of course, getting some form together. Of course, last time out at the Den was a 4-1 win. That was back in May 2021. Of course, that might have been the last day of the season. 4-1 win for Millwall. Of course, coming to this, Millwall did draw with Forest. Of course, Fulham did draw with Bristol City last round. Both sides coming into this on back of draws. Look at the odds on this one. We have 23-20 is your Millwall, 11-5 is your draw, 13-5 is your away win. That's Bristol City. 0-0 draw again on this one. Another draw in the bag. But of course, keep the unbeaten streak going. Next, of course, Luton Town. They'll be taking on High Flyers Coventry down at Kenilworth Road. Which is 11 times in 2005. 3 wins for Luton, 4 for Coventry, and 4 draws. Biggest win for Luton, 2-0 win. The biggest win for Coventry was a 3-0 win. For Coventry, just 1 defeat past 6. Luton without a win in at least 6. However, just 1 defeat past 5 games. Of course, a lot of draws knocking around for Luton Town at the moment. Of course, Luton Town picking up a win last round at Kenilworth Road. It was a 2-0 win back in March 2021 and the Championship. But they're coming to the back of that loss against Bournemouth. Meanwhile, Coventry coming to the back of that win over Peterborough. Odds on this one: 17-10 is your Luton, 21-10 is your 9-5 is your away win. That's Coventry City. 2-1 win for Luton Town on this one to, of course, break their hoodoo and, of course, put a kink in the armour of Coventry. And then finally, it's Peterborough up against Bournemouth, of course. Opposite ends of the spectrum, of course. But anyway, they played each other 6 times 2003. 3 wins for Bournemouth, 2 for Peterborough, 1 draw. Biggest win for Peterborough, 1-0 win. The biggest win of the way was a 5-1 win. Peterborough just 1 win in 6. Meanwhile, Bournemouth just 1 defeat past 6 in all competitions as well. Last time played in Peterborough was a 3-3 draw back in April 2011 in League One. However, Peterborough coming to the back of that loss against Coventry. Bournemouth coming to the back of that win over Luton Town. We have 3-1 is your Peterborough, 11-10 on is your Bournemouth. Red Hot Ravens, 5-2 is your draw. Unfortunately, Bournemouth will win this one, 2-0 win to remain probably top of the pops. That is my picks for match number 10 in the Championship. Of course, this is the final week for the September Championship. Whatever it is, predictor of the month. So make sure you get involved with that. Of course, use the code right here, free to enter, and of course get his name in the leaderboard. But that's it. Be sure to give the video some love, smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. Check out the links down below on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and of course Patreon as well. And of course, we will be back for the next round of matches midweek. But until then, I'll see you soon. Until then, we are donezo.